friends, hello, welcome. Today we have Suzanne with us. We have witnessed her amazing performance in many TV serials and Bollywood. Today we are going to speak on a very important topic, women empowerment. That is like very, very, very important topic, right?
Yeah, it
We are
is.
still struggling with it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm struggling with my hair. I don't know. It keeps on falling in my face. Yeah, it is a ongoing topic. I mean, I've been talking about this topic for years now, and it just seems to be generation after generation. We're still
Yeah,
talking about women
yeah.
empowerment. I mean, the real movement started in the 70s, and we're now in 2020,
More than
and
2 decades, I guess.
we're still talking
Yes.
about women empowerment. Yeah, it's like wow, never ending story, I think.
Yes, so let's start with the session. Okay. So by definition, women empowerment means process of empowering women. And also women empowerment means allowing women from outside from making the decisions. In today's world also, uh, women are not allowed to take independent decisions. That is very disheartening. So what according to you, uh, uh, women suffering from such things can overcome this?
First of all, you have to know that you're not empowered. I think a lot of women just they don't even realize it because they're living in such an environment where there is usually poverty and there's usually no education. I think the moment you get an education, you're automatically starting on that road to empowerment. Because I met amazing women here in state of Maharashtra because I'm in Mumbai, who have. I met this girl and she's traveling every day, one way, I think 75, 80 kilometers by train, all the way to South Bombay, just to study there. And she's doing her I don't know what all BS and whatever is not, and she's doing all of this, and then she goes when she drives home, then she is in a hut where there's one single light bulb under the ceiling. I think there is empowerment happening, but it's still not enough. In such a country like India, you have so many corners and so many people, so I think it is a ongoing fight and an ongoing journey for a lot of people. But I'm always heartened to see a lot of girls who are going the right way, because once a woman got empowered or is strong, there's no going back. She just keeps on going.
True. But then I still think that they are not allowed to make independent decisions. They are forced to take decisions, let it be on their education, let it be on their marriage, or in any one individual woman should have a right to make an independent decision. Do you think somewhere it is still there?
Yeah, but that's really an educational thing that is that has to come from inside the society, or is coming through education. Because if nobody comes and tells these things to people, they will not know. Even the man will not know that his wife is not making her independent decisions. I'm not. This can't be coming from. Outside, this has to be coming from inside, from the structure of society. The society has to change in that way. But then I'm looking at so-called Western countries or advanced countries who are still facing the same issues, where you see, just in my industry, where you see the man is making more money than the woman, even though they're both stars. You know, you have a A-lister star male and you have a A-lister star female, and they're not making the same money. So I think this is just so inbred, and it's so difficult to get this out. It's a worldwide thing, and I think it's just for all of us to make around us the changes. You know, you can do something in your society, I can do something to my society, in my neighborhood, with my neighbors. I think that's all you can do. Or have these talks and talk about it, and maybe one more person wakes up and says, oh yeah, maybe I should be able to make my own decision if I want to study or if I want to do something. Like my mother wanted to be a nurse and she wasn't allowed to become a nurse. She had to go into some government service. So that was my mom in the blip and mid 60s, beginning 70s. She couldn't make a decision at that time. And there's still today, even in Germany, you have women who can't take their own decisions or don't make their own decision, where the family is sitting down and making the decision together. Shall be it because of money issues, because they can't afford, or it's because, yeah, I'm a doctor, you have to be a doctor, kind of a thing. It's just
Yeah.
this handed down thing. It's such a big topic, women empowerment. I think we can just talk about this for hours and still just
Yeah. But I
don't reach
still think
anywhere.
like individual also have a different role to play. Like you said, like you can bring change in your society, I can bring change in my society. I think this can be discarded if each individual takes some initiative towards it.
I think yeah, it's that is what you can do, and sometimes we're also bound by love, where you out of love you're doing what your family wants, and out of love you're doing what your husband does, and you don't feel disempowered at that moment. You actually feel powerful because you're letting the other person shine, or the other person is making the decision for you or with you. So I think that's a typical female trait as well, to step back and and say, yeah, okay, chalega. I can I'm strong enough to handle this. So I don't know, maybe a woman is empowered in that way as well.
Yeah. But that is different scenario already, that we do something for the people we love.
Yeah,
That
but see, if somebody asks you in your family, please, can you just study this instead of that because our family is having this tradition? Don't you pause and think, because it's your family tradition? Isn't this making you pause for a moment, and maybe makes you pause more than a guy? Maybe a boy would say, Are, I don't want to do that, I will do this. I don't know.
that that is something to ponder about. But if you have something else what you want to do, I think you can talk to them and just do it, rather than like, I don't think there should be some force of like, no, you have to do that only. But then that is also a different.
Yeah, and it's this handed down system, You have been treated by your parents like this, and when you have children, if you don't question the way you were brought up, you will just copy it. You will do the same thing to your children, You will do the same thing to your bahu. You will be just repeating the process because it's been done to you. And if you haven't left home, I think it's easier for the ones of us who are traveling or going out or being in other countries or in other cities, or just, cutting the ties a little bit and moving away from your surroundings. There you find your independence. I think if you are always in your house with your family, I think it becomes very hard because you're always being seen as the child as well.
Yeah. Okay, moving further. So, as we talked about decision making right now, do you think it has any effect on their self respect? Because, in my opinion, empowerment is stem of self respect. Do you think it hampers their self respect somewhere?
Your voice was breaking. You have to repeat that last bit. It was
I
like,
so, okay, I repeat. I said
it's
we
not you,
talked
it's the
about.
network. It's the
Okay,
network.
now is it fine? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there was an
Okay.
echo.
So, we were talking about decision making right now. So, do you think they the not allowing to make independent decisions have any impact on their self respect?
Yeah, definitely. I think it becomes an issue, especially it starts in childhood, no? If you let your child choose which dress it wants to wear, or make little decisions when they're like 4 or 5 or 6, build that up. Don't let them run wild. I'm not saying let them do whatever they want to do, but make them learn how to make decisions. I think that is something that brings that up, and girls tend to be maybe a little bit more shy in that respect, a little bit more. There's such big topics, yeah.
Nah, it's okay. We have time.
Nee,
We
nee,
can.
it's very interesting to ponder these things, and I'm coming from the German background, but I don't see so many differences to here. It's sometimes a little scary to see. It's not that different in other countries. I lived in Taiwan, I was in South Korea, and I think the same issues are coming up in a lot of countries. So if you are having a child, be it a boy or girl, and you make them more independent and make them into making decisions, I think they will never come to that point where they are feeling insecure. But that comes out of the parents, that comes out of what they do with their children.
That's true. But then you said that right. That's the reason when women are on their own, they have a little difficulties in making decisions, and
Yeah, I
they
think that's
feel
why the college time or the time when you move away from home is a very important time, because that's the time when you're really starting to fly, where you are having to make your own decision and where you have to take care of yourself, where there is nobody to take away your decision, because there's also some security in it. अगर ये फैसला नहीं लेना है तो ठीक है, because I don't have to take the responsibility later. अरे मामा ने कहा, पापा ने कहा, who am I now? I'm just doing what my parents are telling me. There's also a certain security in that, where you feel like, okay, if I'm just relying on them, I can blame them later as well, or I can say it's not my decision. But if you go out and you say, I want to become, let's say, a doctor, and you move to a different college and you go on a different street, and what your parents wanted to do, if you have failure, what is always possible, you will have your own failure to deal with, and your parents will talk to you. "Arey, maine tumne pehle kaha tha, you shouldn't have done that." So there's also this moment where you have to decide, I'm a grown-up, I have to make my own decisions, I have to stand up for my own decisions, and that can be a little scary. I can understand that.
yeah, that's okay. So we were talking about education. Today also, many girls are not allowed to go and have like get educated. If they have family issues and they have a girl child and a boy child, they prefer a child going to school rather than a girl going to a school, because they always said the girl has to get married. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep on hearing these stories. It hasn't happened around me, and it hasn't happened in my husband's family, so I can't really say anything about it, because I see a lot of, like, our neighbors, they have one child, it's a daughter, and they want her to succeed, and they want her to study, and they want her to do things. And my maid before, she was very, very sad that her daughter didn't do well in school. Yeah, the son was doing well in school, and she wanted her daughter to also go to school, and somebody was taking care of the expenses as well, and she was crying to me, "Kaise convince kar sakte? Kaise push kar sakte? How can I push my daughter to go to school because that girl didn't want to go to school?" So these are the stories just around me, because I cannot go by, I don't know what's going on in the whole country. I think nobody can say that. You're just going by what you maybe read in an article or what you see in studies that are coming out. So maybe you have numbers that are more convincing, because I'm supporting Akshaya Patra, who are doing these meals for kids so they can go to school. And I see girls and boys both going to school, because once the meal is taken care of, then they can go to school, It's a good initiative. These kinds of things are helping as well. Do you really feel that it's still like that the girls are not being sent to school? Because I see so many proud dads of their daughters, or do you think that are just the stories
Somewhere, like, it is still there. They actually have to make, maybe because of financial issues or something. But now I definitely think that they have many bills which have been passed, like as you said, free meals. That also have a huge impact on it. But then I still feel that such issues are not there. If girls are not like, maybe after school they're not allowed to go further into the college, and they start thinking about their marriage.
that's possible. For me, around me, I just see educated women who are working their jobs and have children. But that is because maybe I'm living in Mumbai and my environment around me, it's like middle class, so they can do it, and probably in rural areas it must be different. But I'm not that knowledgeable about this that I can say just blank statements. I wish for more education, and that's why I'm supporting Akshaya Patra, because I like that they're doing this just to give the possibility. And they have given, I've seen so many documentaries where the mother, for example, she was interviewed and she said, I'm so happy I can send all my children. I don't need to keep one from working on the fields. I don't need to keep one at home to help me, because they are getting food and they're getting their education. So it's a lovely concept, it's a lovely idea, and it's working. But because we are how many billions? 1.3 billion? I think there is still so much to do. This country is just, in its size, it is so big that no matter what you do, it still feels like it's not enough.
Yeah, we individually have to take a lot of steps, and we can't just be like depend on government or some NGOs. If we found some NGOs which is trustable, we can definitely get associated with them like you did, and we can help the children and the girl child if they are facing such issues.
I think that is what we can do, in our capacity, wherever we are. What you see around you, you can help. Like there's the other foundation I'm helping, that's Paddling Foundation, and they are bringing empowerment to rural areas in sense of hygiene, menstruation hygiene, and taboos. That women are being separated when they have the menstruation, or these kinds of things that are happening. So they are working on that as well, because they, as middle class and higher middle class girls, they have faced this. The woman who found it and brought it in, she is mid-20s, and she faced this in her own family, and she said, out of that reason, I'm starting this foundation to help women to be, because it's also empowerment. If you are still going out and you're not being separated, and you get pads, and that gives you liberty, and then you can move around, that is also a step in the right direction. Yeah, Aisha Sachdeva is in our conversation, and she's also into all of this. Yeah, rural area, you guys are right. A lot of people are aware it should be done in rural areas. Yeah, because people there, they don't have the access that we are having towards whatever, the TV, the easy access of newspapers, the easy access of whatever is around us. We take it for granted, no? The knowledge that we're having. And
even the camps which are for women empowerment and given there, many people don't attend it or not allowed to. Like, there are so many camps for menstruation or something, but they are not allowed sometimes to attend such camps about the awareness of menstruation.
I'm not understanding. I feel like this country was more open and more advanced maybe 200, 300 years ago. If you look at the temples at Khajuraho or whatever, where everything was explained in murals and in architecture, what needs to be known about certain aspects of your life. And I don't know what happened. I think the invasion of the British, they just brought the whole of India backward instead of forward in the mindset, because India was always more open and accommodating and understanding and knowledgeable. I mean, we have the Vedas who are talking about atomic particles. When was that? And it's happening now. So I feel like India has been held back, and maybe held back on purpose, because it's a huge country with a lot of resources and a lot of people and a lot of power. So if you're holding that back, you can influence the world politics.
It is coming slowly. Our generation and the bigger generation are actually working towards it for equality, like women empowerment, spreading awareness about menstruation. Now people have started talking about it, so now it is becoming a little normalized. Otherwise, still it was a taboo. Still somewhere it is a taboo. When woman is menstruating, she's not allowed to step inside the kitchen to make food or enter the temple.
That's true. And the original idea, the way I understood it, was not because she's unclean. It is the only time she's getting rest. You know, the original idea of the woman not being in the kitchen or the woman keeping separate was that she gets some rest because it can be painful, it can be inconvenient, it can be you feel tired, your body is aching, and out of the 31 days in a month that you're working on the farm or working and slaving away in the kitchen, those were the 3, 4, 5 days where you didn't have to do it. And that has been turned around and twisted into you're not allowed here.
You're not allowed. They
And
some words like that is the time you're not pure. So that is the reason you cannot step into temple or you cannot step into kitchen.
yeah, but who has twisted it around? Because the original idea was something else, and certain temples are not allowing menstruating women because the temples used to be in the jungle, and women should not walk for miles into the jungle just to attend a temple. And there are also temples where men are not allowed, besides the point. But a country that has goddesses, very strong and very Shaktishali goddesses, that should give you an idea what India used to be and what it could be again if you empower the women.
Yeah, that's so. Have like you're in such a big industry. Have you faced any such issues, and how have you overcome it? Like in case of women, have you been sent back or not allowed something?
Setbacks, the misconception or the preconception is in the beginning it was like they said there are no characters for you in this country. And I did one TV show and I was told besides this one character you will not do anything. And now I've done over 25 TV shows. So if you're just persistent, India can be very welcoming and very accommodating. Yeah, in a certain way, being held back and not invited to press conferences and not given the press that was required, and basically just focusing on certain people when the project was released and not including me in that. Yeah, that is definitely something that I'm still fighting with and I'm still trying to overcome, but I just rely on the love of the audience because that I'm having in abundance. So I'm just sticking to that. I'm just sticking to that because what else can you do in life?
But
So we're like both are sweating.
I
can
don't
actually
know why
see
it's
you
not
shining.
raining in Mumbai right now.
It's not cooling down. It's just not cooling down. I don't know. इस समय बारिश में कहाँ है? अभी धूप है बाहर. So you know what that means. बारिश के बाद धूप. Nice. We all like.
Okay. There is one more confusion between the people that women empowerment and feminism are the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell our viewers the difference so that they can get it?
Oh God.
A little bit difference. Can you tell them?
I don't know, because I feel feminism as a word has been twisted and turned around so much that I don't even want to use it anymore. I want to just use women empowerment, like that nice challenge was going on, challenge accepted, where we were posting black and white pictures and to show support for women. And then I read an article in the New York Times about how shallow this is and how unnecessary this is and how
Even I
actually
read that.
yeah, and how stupid we are. And I was like, okay, wait a second. I just scrolled through 200 or 300 pictures of women from all around the world, and I liked all those pictures as well. And they were from Turkey, and they were from Indonesia, and they were from Malaysia, and there were transgenders there as well, men who want to be a woman. And I felt so good about this, especially in these times. It was like a chain, you know, we all were holding hands in the black and white challenge, you know. Usually I don't do challenges, but this hit me and it hit me in the right spot. So I think that's an empowerment, you know, where we are upholding each other and That's why on purpose I was sitting and just scrolling. Akhil was saying, "Kya kar rahe ho?" I was like, I'm just going through all these beautiful pictures of people everywhere from Germany, Austria, America, Japan. Like every country, people were posting this, and that's a big movement. And I think that means something. And it's not, what did they call that in the New York Times? Um, Superficial activism, something like that.
Yeah,
But feminism, I think that word has been torn to pieces, and we should just retire it. We should just
yeah.
say bye bye to feminism because it's a sad word now. It's invoking the wrong pictures. It's invoking the wrong kind of what you actually want to achieve. It's yeah, misuse.
Someone asked, can you please tell us the good example of feminism? If you can. Someone asked, can you please tell us a good example of feminism?
I don't know. Feminism for me is something that is somewhere in the 70s, where I wasn't even there. Yeah, that's Aisha. You should have a chat with her. That's also somebody nice to have a chat with. She's in Delhi. Good example of feminism. I think it was in the 70s that feminism had its high time, and now if you a strong woman, somebody like, for me, for actors, I think Meryl Streep is somebody who is standing with both feet on the ground, but I wouldn't call her a feminist. I would just call her, she's a strong woman, she's a woman. Yeah. So tags, and these kinds of like, everybody who sees me thinks I'm British or maybe Russian. So for them, it's like the tag is Firang, Angres, that other tags. So I'm a little against tags. I have like a thing with tags. So feminism is a tag. It's like not really into tags. Sorry about that. If you want to explain it or if you have an example, please share.
If someone asks me, are you a feminist? I am not at all a feminist. Like, how can you not be a feminist being good? I'm like, see, I support certain things and I don't support certain things. It doesn't mean I fight for everything. Like, suppose we fight for education, that is our right. In that case, if you ask my opinion, like girls and boys should have the equal thing, then definitely I'll be a feminist in that. But I won't be feminist in stupid things, because now feminism is like you said, it's like being ruled by many other things. In every case, people are like, we are feminists.
Yeah, now with all the social media, so many people are constantly fighting and arguing and discussing constantly everything online. So I find it very difficult to use any words anymore, because whatever you're saying, it can be twisted out of context. And women empowerment is still a word that has some freshness to it, and I think that is something that I'd rather use that. Saying, yeah, I'm an empowered woman. Yeah, I guess I'm an empowered woman because I'm doing everything in my life that I want to do. If that is empowerment, yes, then that empowerment is definitely there. With social media, feminism meaning is twisted. Yeah, everything is twisted, You also need to see who writes what, which newspaper is writing what is their agenda, who owns the newspaper, who's behind it. So, yeah. If we start about twisting things around. Yeah.
There's a quote I read. It was, I shared with, it's very, very nice. So, the hand that rocks the cradle, the procreator, the mother of tomorrow, a woman shapes the destiny of civilization. Such is a tragic irony of fate that a beautiful creation such as a girl child today facing one of the greatest concern of humanity.
Very beautiful. So this reminded me of something that it just popped in my mind, that Akhil used to say, men are trying to keep women down because they're scared, because a woman is actually stronger than he is. And that's my husband. So if you want to give him a tag, he's a feminist. I guess he is. And he said it's out of fear. In a lot of countries, women are also being held back, and they're not understanding that they're cutting into their own flesh because they're taking away the The mental power that a woman has, the physical power a woman has, the work, and never mind the economic plus that a woman can bring to a society. Every woman that works brings more into the society as well, yeah. And every woman who stays at home and raises kids is doing something for the society. And there's a certain power in it. And I think a lot of times men can be fearful of that. See how many people are reacting to female chancellors or presidents of countries. You know, they are not really comfortable with that concept about a woman running a country.
We do have many nice examples of women running a country. It is, they actually bring about change. Girls have the power to change the world. Women have the power to change the world.
And because it starts with you. What you do with your child, that is the seed. Is it a boy or is it a girl? But that seed is traveling. That child that comes from you is gonna go places, and how it's going that place, that is what you have given it to him or her. So it all, I keep on coming back. It's just what is happening in that family circle and what is happening in the society circle that is determining how the child is going to go into the world. At least to 80%, because 20% is still something that is up to that person. But I think 80% is upbringing and society and the people around you.
Individual thinking also matters. So, do you think like the proper development of a country is incomplete without women empowerment or gender equality?
Yeah, look at all the, look at all the Arab countries. What are they missing out? Look at Iran before and look at Iran now. They're missing out. They're missing out ecologically, economically. There are lawyers sitting at home. There are doctors sitting at home. And they can't work because they're women. What does it mean to your own society? What are you doing to yourself? You're cutting into your own flesh. And that is besides religion. Just keep religion out. Just think from a logical point of view. You take half of the population, you don't let them do something that is good for your country. Just from that point of view, it has nothing to do with religion, has nothing to do against anybody. It's just half the people you don't want to have into your society to contribute on any level. I'm sorry, that sounds really silly.
Someone asked us a question. Do you think there will be any female superhero in Bollywood movies? I think we all are already superheroes.
We have. I just watched The Old Guard with Charlize Theron, and she was the superstar. She was the main one. I just watched Lucy yesterday. What is a movie with Scarlett Johansson and made by Luc Besson? She is the hero in that. Morgan Freeman is the sidekick. So yeah, we already have.
I hope that question was answered. But then,
I think so.
Yeah. It's just such a big topic. We can actually go on and on.
Yeah, we could. But I don't think anybody has the patience to listen to us forever.
Yeah.
Are you guys?
Then they'll be like they're empowering, and then they might twist the topic feminism.
Yeah, but I'm planning on putting this on my YouTube channel so you can actually listen to what we said, and there's no way you can twist it. That's the plus point of a live interview. When you are doing interviews on the phone, or if a journalist comes to your home or you give an interview to a journalist, the problem is they can twist stuff around, either because they want to or because there's a misunderstanding. Like on my Wikipedia page, it says I'm speaking all these languages. I never said that. It was one of my first interviews, and I told the journalist, I studied these languages, but because I'm not using them anymore, I have a basic knowledge, but I can't really talk anymore, and I can act in Bengali, and I can act in Marathi, but I cannot speak the languages. I speak Hindi, English, and German. The rest is just somewhere floating around. And I can't fix it because it's an article and Wikipedia goes by articles, so that verification of that article is there. And every time I have to tell people, "Arey, sorry, yaar, ye mujhse nahi hoga." They're also impressed, and I said, "That's very sweet, but sorry, I don't really speak all these languages, but that can happen." So if somebody interviews you, even that guy, he didn't do it on purpose. It was a misunderstanding because his English was not up to the mark, maybe, and I was not used to interviews at that time because that was in 2005, 2006 when I did Honeymoon Travels. So it's a new, if you come as a new actress and suddenly you give interviews, you also don't know where you have to be more clear, where you have to be emphasizing things.
But said you can edit it by raising a request to Wikipedia.
Yeah, kiya, sab kuch kiya. I'm not allowed to do anything because it's my page, so I'm not allowed to do anything on my own page. I can't even take that bikini picture out. So, yeah, if you just didn't know, there is a bikini picture on my Wikipedia page. I don't know what that has to do with my acting capabilities, but okay.
Okay. Prerna Datta said, "Ma'am, you speak Hindi beautifully."
मैं अभी तक तो कुछ नहीं बोला सब अंग्रेजी होती मैं speaking only in English today, but thank you very much, Prerna.
In your series and TV series, so
there you get it. But there they give you the lines, and then you can practice. You have some time, and if you make a mistake, you can take a retake. अगर मैं ऐसे बात करती हूँ तो कभी-कभी ऐसे होता है, कभी-कभी उल्टा होगा. I'm just like a very nice plane. बहुत अच्छी तरह से टेक ऑफ करती हूँ. उसके बाद मैं कहाँ लैंड करूँ सेंटेंस के एंड में मुझे नहीं पता है. तो कभी-कभी क्रैश हो जाते हैं.
Please ask her that.
What did you want to ask? Oh God, that's so way back. I don't see anything.
Aman, please ask your question again if you want.
We can't find it.
Keep going up. So it is.
I'm getting dizzy. Just ask again, Aman.
Oh, you by me, but your YouTube channel is really good. If someone has not checked Suzanne's YouTube channel, please go and check. Her and her husband make very nice kitchen adventures.
Yeah.
Later, when she made a video on German bread, how to make German bread. Please ask her that Chakravartin Ashoka Samrat.
Yeah, that's JP. JP is actually in my video where I'm wishing my parents on their wedding anniversary. My parents had their 50th wedding anniversary yesterday.
Congratulations on that. That was yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. And then JP actually is in the video wishing because my mom visited on the set. She came in 2015 to stay with us for some time on holiday, and I took her to the set. So she met everybody there. She sat with everybody. There's pictures with everybody. She has pictures with Punisha. She has pictures with Siddharth. She sat with the directors. Then what we have is, okay, yesterday was the wedding anniversary of their court marriage, and 26 September is the actual church wedding date. And so they got married 26 September, and I came 2 years later on 26 September. I was born on 26 September.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know what timing. So what they did on the set of Ashok, they got an extra cake for her. Like they always get a cake for the actors to cut, and they made one cake for Monica and Michael. And my mom to this day, every time she thinks of that, she gets teary-eyed. Yeah, it was so special. It was very sweet.
Se.He. If anyone wants to ask any question to Suzanne, can just put it in the comment section.
Hi Garima, how are you? Garima is a female car racer.
Sorry?
Garima is a rock star. The one who has just joined our chat, she is a female car racer. She goes behind the wheel and she can do all kinds of stunts and drives very fast and she knows everything about engines and yeah, that is somebody who's empowered. That is
Yeah,
somebody who is just putting on a overall and a helmet and she goes. It's amazing. I love
that's
that.
something we
Acha.
never.
Okay. JP is your uncle. Cool. Congratulations. That's nice. Choti si dunya.
So, if anyone wants to ask Suzanne something, please put it in the comment section.
Yeah, that's the one chance that they're having. So you started your the diet chef when actually?
The diet chef is actually owned by Yash Bhatkar. We
Yeah.
started it 2 years back, and then now we have a team of dietitians and physios. So we treat these patients with the combination of diet and physiotherapy. We have reverse thyroid, diabetes, and
Oh.
many other medical issues. Once we had a patient of 15 years of thyroid, and we reversed 15 years of thyroid with only
Wow.
combination of diet and physiotherapy.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a big thing to do, yeah. So people find you through Instagram or you're on other channels as well?
We right now are on Instagram, and then we do have fan page, and we are just growing slowly.
Okay. Okay, slowly but surely. And now in these times you do online consultations because
Yeah,
of
we do online classes.
I
We
spoke to a
asked
friend yesterday who's a psychiatrist and he's doing online consultations because he can't go to the clinic and people they can't do without him. And it must be the same with you. You know, it's like you can't do without a doctor. You can't do if you are in a course for your physiotherapy hour and you have to stop that. My mom had to do a lot of physiotherapy, so she had to skip a lesson when she was in agony. So I can totally understand that.
But we tell our patient to be conscious with at least 15 to 20 minutes of exercise. Like all the viewers watching, please include at least 20 minutes of some physical activity in your work. It actually have a huge impact on your mental health also.
Yes, yes. We do yoga every day. I
You
wake up
do.
and yeah, I wake up, fall out of bed, and go directly into a yoga pose. Like it's every day. I start with it, and then I have another session later in the day, and then I'm doing a meditation before I fall asleep. So
Do you
that
have
is a
any impact? Do
that's a
you feel
lockdown.
any pain
That's a
in
lockdown
your
effect. I felt like I can't. It started with my uncle passing away from cancer, and me, Akhil, and my mom. We were there. My mom was taking most care of him, and we were there as a support system. So we were 3 months in Germany, and then he passed away, and I got up with panic attacks in the middle of the night. I used to wake up at 2, 3 in the morning, completely drenched and heart racing, and I couldn't fall asleep anymore. And that's when I found Isha Kriya by Sadhguru. What calmed me down, and I could go back to sleep. So at that time in the night, I was doing it sometimes 2, 3 times, and then every time I could fall asleep again. And then slowly, I was going more and more into it. And I'm not saying go for Sadhguru. Anybody who is appealing to you or makes sense to you, like I like his way of talking, I like his scientific approach, I like the way he's like him and Hedge, Dr. Hedge. These two for me are like really two sides of the same story, life. So find something that helps you. And then here in lockdown, and I haven't been downstairs. I've been twice downstairs to the pharmacy in 4 months. So I've been not out of this flat, except for that lockdown terrace video. But now it's raining, so can't go on the terrace that much.
but then
So it
people
had
are actually
so
suffering from anxiety and all
yeah. So
because of
yoga
this.
and meditation. Yeah, yoga and meditation helped me. Yeah, and I did that in a online engineering course as well. So that is what we choose to do. But anything that is attractive to you or is pulling you or is resonating with you, yes, please include exercise, please include meditation. If you can't do it, just sit still, look outside into the greenery. And one misconception people are having is I have to be calm to meditate. No, 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 no. You don't have to be calm. It's the other way. You become calm because you meditate. So I had this discussion with my mom, and I think a lot of people have this misconception. I'm too tense to do it. I said, yeah, you're doing it, so you're not that tense. So there's sometimes this, I don't know if you have encountered that.
People say that, like, don't let the thought come inside when you're meditating. Yeah, but the thoughts are tend to come so that you think about it and then you be clear in your head.
It's the monkeys that are jumping around. So if you listen to Osho or if you listen to Shri or Sadhguru or any of them, they all say you cannot not think. It's not happening, but you can come to a place where you are realizing that you're thinking, and then it's like you can let it go, and then the next thought comes, and then you let that go. It gets a little calmer. It's not that crazy jumping around in the head. So I hope more people pick this up, because if there's a time to turn towards meditation or yoga or your inner ways, now is the time, I think.
We can actually learn some cooking. We can actually look at your videos and learn something. To make it. All the people who are interested in cooking can put your YouTube channel.
Yeah. And we are the people, before 2018 I was never entering the kitchen. I couldn't cook, and the acting was there and I didn't have time, and now suddenly I'm doing all these things and I'm surprised at it, actually. I don't know from where that is suddenly coming.
And you're learning new things.
We're learning new things.
If I go into kitchen, I'm going to make some disaster for sure.
Yeah, Akhil was doing pagoda the other day, and he said, don't film it, it will be a disaster. And he was standing in some smoke as well, but it was very good. I liked it, but I don't think he will do it again. He was slaving away for hours. Yeah, it was it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Kitchen is a lot of work. Yeah. First you prep it, then you do it, then you cook it, then you clean.
All the people who can cook is heroes for me.
Or like it, you know? Yeah, and like it. Like my mom, even when she's not well, she's cooking. And I said, why are you doing it? She said, it's my relaxation. I'm calming down when I'm doing it. I said, okay.
I have said that the lockdown has brought new skills in us.
That's true.
So then I don't think people have any more questions with you.
Yeah,
but then it was very nice talking on such topic with you, and I think many people have got many ideas, and especially on women empowerment and feminism. It is a great women empowerment. It's a great topic, and we are still struggling for it for more than 2 decades now. Change is coming, but like just work individually towards it.
Yeah, see, if it's not on an individual level, it will not happen. Anything that is just try to be pushed from top, the top can help, government can help, and there are foundations that help, but it has to come from your side as well. Thanks, Aisha. That's so nice. I'm happy people liked it, and if you don't mind it, I'm uploading it on my channel as well.
No issues. I'll be uploading it on IGTV as well.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm spreading it on the on the YouTube channel, because
Please
I like these chats.
Also, and subscribe to that on YouTube.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Thanks for the shout out. I can use it definitely. Okay. It was lovely talking to you. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Take care.
Bye. See you online. Bye.
Bye. That was an amazing session with Suzanne on women empowerment. So, before ending this live session, I hope you are safe and sound and just encourage women empowerment. Thank you so much, and see you soon next Saturday.